welcome back to Rock and Stints. So today I have a special guest. Some of you guys may know him, some of you guys may not. That's my husband. This is Hugo, my husband. He's going to be answering some questions. We're finally getting around to doing the Q&A. A couple weeks ago, I asked you guys if you guys had any questions for Hugo about, autism, being a parent, and all that good stuff. And you guys had some good questions. Like, these are some good ones. I'm like, damn.
You're scaring me.
I didn't tell Hugo. I haven't told him what the questions are asking or anything because I want his answers to be fresh. And like if we were on a live or something,
Yeah.
So I am ready with the questions, and there's quite a few, so we should probably just get started. So I asked on Instagram and on YouTube. So if you guys aren't following me on Instagram, make sure you guys go check us out on IG. I post a lot of like reels and things like that on there. First question, do you freak out when he is about to have a meltdown? How do you participate in his routine? Are you the chill parent or are you the strict one?
No, not at all.
No?
No.
Not at all?
Not at all. Reason I think I don't freak out is because I don't really realize at the moment that he's having a meltdown. It's more like I just start doing the best I can to calm him down.
So
and then when I say like later on in the day, I look back to it and then I'll think like, oh well, that was kind of like hard. It was tough,
How do you participate in his routine?
So there's 2 days that is pretty much my days, which is Wednesday.
You should say your mornings.
My morning.
Yeah.
Which is Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday and Thursday, I have to get both of my sons ready. I have to get Christian up and ready for therapy, and then I also have to get the little one ready to go for the day. They're in the background right now.
Yeah,
so.
if you hear any noise, it's there. One of them is eating a banana, and the other one is eating an apple, I would say.
Probably the hardest part is trying to figure out what to give him for lunch. Getting the snacks ready, because he does have ABA from
8 hours.
Yeah, 8 hours. From 9 to 5:30. Yeah.
Besides the Wednesday, Thursday mornings, how do you participate in his like routines, like other stuff?
My job consists of working 4 days of 10 hours and having 3 days off. With that being said, in the mornings, the most I could do is probably give him breakfast and maybe just be with him a little bit. When I get home, it's already time to wind down. So at that time, he's more than likely already in bed, or I'll just go in there, say goodnight to him, talk to him, ask him how his day was, and just pretty much be there with him in the moment for a little bit before he goes to sleep. So 4 days straight like that, and then 3 days when I'm off, it's more of a family time. We try to go out and do our own thing. In the mornings, Wednesday and Thursday.
It's hard?
It's hard. I'm running like crazy, like around, like, because it's not just getting him ready.
It's because Sebs is a lot.
Yeah, he's a lot. But he's a good kid though.
No, he is. All right, next question. Are you the chill parent or are you the strict one?
Am I the chill or am I the strict? I'd like to think that I'm the fun one.
So chill?
Yeah.
In other words?
Yeah.
I think you're a good blend of both.
You think so? I know for a fact when it comes down to fun stuff,
you're the fun one, yeah.
The kids look for me, and I do my best to keep them happy, and I think I'm doing an okay job, right?
Yeah. Well, the question was chill or strict, not fun. Hugo, you are the man. Share one of the best father-son moments you've had with Christian. As a father of an autistic son, I had my tough moments, but man, I had some wonderful moments too. Would love to hear your thoughts.
Man, that's really good. The moment that I could think like that I made him feel extremely happy is probably there was a time when we used to put the dance videos.
Yeah.
And there's this specific video that he really liked.
The motorcycle, the monsters.
Yeah.
The dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. And every time that music video came on, he would look for me because I would grab him, pick him up, spin him around. We'll do all kinds of stuff. And I know for a fact he was having a great time. I was having a great
Yeah.
time. I want to say he was having a good time too.
Next question. Do you have son and dad trips, play dates, and how do you deal with meltdowns in public? Have you experienced people calling the police because of a meltdown? How do you deal with the judgment and guilt? So do you guys have outings by yourselves? Let's answer that first.
As of now, we have not had a one-on-one. I've had a one-on-one with Haiti, but not with Christian. It's funny that you guys asked that because I was just talking to Jasmine about it not too long ago. Like I've never really had a one-on-one with Christian, and if I have, it's probably just like out to get ice cream or something small, but not like necessarily like taking him out, just him and I, which I feel a little bad about it. Because I'm sure that that's something that he will like my full attention to him. I've never had no one call cops on me because he's having a bad trip. We've had some bad incidents where he's in really bad pain, and I had to grab him and pull him out, and everyone's looking at me. That day at the buffet, no one really said anything to me, but I could tell that everyone was just like all eyes on me.
I think you mentioned that people probably assumed you were like kidnapping or something because he was like flailing.
Yeah, and he was having pain on his legs. For those that have been following us, know that Christian gets really bad leg pain, and that day he was having a very intense leg pain. So I just grabbed him and I told her I'm just gonna take him straight to the doctor, and I took him to a quick care, and
they couldn't help.
They said there was pretty much nothing they could do. It's just very frustrating, but yeah, that's probably the worst moment that I've had in public, and never had the cops called on us or anything like that.
When dealing with judgment and guilt, do you feel guilt about like those moments?
Never.
No.
No. I think more of what can I do to help my son, and how does my son feel? That's what, like 100%. That's what's going through my mind. How can I help my son, and how is he feeling? I don't really pay attention too much on what's going on around me. At times I do, like every now and then.
You might reflect on it later,
yeah,
but not in that moment.
Yeah, every now and then I'll probably like just glance around, but I try not to do that because if I do that, it'll make me feel some kind of way.
It'll get you out of like you're in that zone of like helping my son.
I just want to help him.
All right, next question. Do you look forward to having a more typical father-son relationship with Sebastian? Or how do you envision your relationship with Sebastian will be different than the one with Christian? I told you these are good questions.
Oh, man. I know that my relationship with my sons is going to be different. I can't really speak what's going to happen in the future, but
just as of right now.
As of right now, the way things are going, yes, it will be different.
But no less.
No. Oh, never less. Yeah. You never less. You never really, well, before I even was aware of autism, and now that I'm a father of an autistic kid, you never really come to comprehend how much communication comes into play, you know? And now that we have a nonverbal child, it's very eye-opening on communication. Him not voicing his opinion or him not voicing his thoughts, it's very I'm sorry for delaying a lot, but it's very, sometimes it hits you very hard, and you get very emotional about it because you want to know what he's thinking, you want to know what he's feeling, you want to know if he's in pain, if he's happy, if he's sad. And at the same time, it's although there's different ways of communication, it's hard, it's challenging.
Next question before we get emotional. We have two boys with autism on different levels. I'm even more overprotective of them than my husband is, and my husband is more laid back. Sometimes we bump heads in that area. Hugo, are you and mom always on the same page? If not, how do you meet in the middle?
For the most part, I would say we are on the same page. We do have our moments where we're probably not on the same page, and we just give each other a look like,
yeah,
like that's not what I was thinking, you know. But for the most part, we are on the same page.
The only thing that I will say that I don't know if it's strict or not, but like I will really try like when I'm not great. Let's not pretend that I'm like doing great with like, his communication. But when I really want to like push it and you give him a piece of candy or a food without pushing it, I'll tell him like, babe, the thing is right there, like let's try to get him to do it, like that's the thing that I think about the most. Sometimes I'll try to push something on like let's communicate, and you're more chill on like, here, yeah, you want a banana?
Yeah, well, I don't want him to feel that he always has to use the PEG system, and I'm probably that's probably where I'm probably
Messing up.
messing up because we're still at the beginning stage with him.
So he should use it as much.
Yeah, but I feel that that's kind of taking away from him being a little bit more like relaxed. He's at home. There's like a certain time and place where he needs to be using it. And
that is where we've clashed before, and I think we've come to the agreement of like, all right, like let's say it's chips and I'm doing for every single one, you'll be like, babe, like no, like it's still not fair because Haiti just gets a bowl. So that's where I'll be like, all right, like let's just at least do 5 and then he can have the bowl. So that's where we'll compromise. What are the different roles you play in Christian's life compared to mom?
I want to say that when he seeks for fun, he comes to me. And then another thing is, it's funny because he when he seeks for fun, he comes to me. But at the same time, when something has to be done, and you're there asking him to do it
authority wise,
2-3 times, and he's not listening, but I'll go over there and I just let him know, hey, you need to get up right now and you need to do this. Even though like my son's autistic, like he still understands that what I'm saying, I mean it, and he respects me on that, and I'm very happy that he understands me on that.
Christian looks like a strong boy. Does he overpower you at times?
There has been moments
where you have to put your like,
where I do have to put in some muscle.
Not all your muscle, but like you're like, oh, I have to use
like I actually have to grab him. Yeah, like or there's times where he sits down and I have to, or he doesn't want to get up, and I literally have to like put my arms under his armpits and just like really like throw him up there.
¿Tienes un deseo especial que quieras cumplir con él y aún no puedes?
Por ahorita mi deseo es poder comunicarme con él en una forma donde él se pueda expresar él mismo.
Another question is, do you have concerns about Sebastian?
As of right now, I do not have any concerns about Sebastian. There has been times, and I've told you recently actually.
Yeah, is that okay?
That he was extremely hyper. I'm talking about like
a Tarzan, not Tarzan.
Like
Tasmanian devil.
I had never seen him like that, but that's been the only moment that I kind of had a concern for Sebastian. But other than that, like, no, he's very social, playful, and very
communicative.
Very easy to read. He's very verbal as well. So as of right now, no concerns, and thank God for that.
How do you split your time with family, kids, and work?
How do we do it? That's a question. That is
we do our best.
very, very hard. When we pretty much have us time, it would probably have to be like going to the gym or watching a movie. That's us time, like Jazzy and I, when we're here at the house.
So the battery died before we could finish the question, so we had to take a little pause. It's actually almost 11 p.m. at night, so we're a little tired, but the show must go on. So get your energy up, babe. All right, next question. Probably the emotional part. As a mom, I still cry and feel bad for my son. You as a dad, do you get emotional, or you're tough and accept it more easily?
No, I'm a very emotional person. I always, every time we sit down and we speak, I feel like I always pour my heart out there, and I open up to Jazzy a lot and just express my feelings and what's going through my mind, what I'm feeling. And sometimes I feel a little sad about situations, and others I feel very happy about things. The thing about the whole thing, like the whole situation, is that when I envision myself with having my son, I envision myself with like just like the typical things.
Traditional
Yeah,
stuff.
traditional stuff like teaching him how to ride a bike, teaching him how to throw a ball. We're gonna be wrestling, rough playing, um, just
And it's okay.
just doing like
Yeah.
my son, you know, like my
Well,
boy and my dad and son bond.
yeah.
And it's like not the way it was, not the way it is, but it is what it is, and we just move forward with it.
My son is 7. He's nonverbal, so I totally relate to Christian and you guys' life as parents. My question is, as a man, do you feel like society or the social norm is to not talk about your children's condition? My husband talks to anybody who asks about it, but we feel like there's a lot of misinformation about autism out there. Since there's so many individuals who have varying symptoms, but people tend to stereotype all autistic people as being the same. And it's annoying to my husband when he explains to other people our son may never talk, or some people like to tell us our son will one day grow out of his autism. I mean, our son will someday grow out of his autism.
When the moment or the situation arrives, I always do my best to try and educate, because that's my moment to advocate for my son. So I do my best to spread the word, spread the awareness, and um, to me, that's my moment to show off my son as well, you know.
Hugo, fellow dad to an autistic nonverbal 3-year-old son here. Sometimes I get carried away on thinking about my son's future and all the things that he can't do. My question, since your son is a few years older, is how has he surprised you in doing something you thought him incapable of? I've personally seen so much growth in your son through the years and wish your family the best. So something that he surprised you with.
Thank you. Thank you for the wishes. When the journey first started, I knew it would be very hard. But when the journey first started, I would see other kids, and I would remember thinking to myself, wow, is my kid going to be able to do that? Is my kid going to be able to point things out, sit down, listen, and do all these things? And here we are now. He is 8 years old, and he's doing all these things. There is with a lot of patience and having structure. We're not saying we're 100%, but having therapies and routines, it is a big help. And here we are. He is potty trained. He's trying to use the PEG system. He sits down on the table and eats with us as a family. And now he is to the point where we're telling him things, and he is starting to just do it on his own. We'll tell him, pick up your plate. He'll take it straight to the dishes, wash your hands. Might be little things, but there's progress, and that's all I'm happy about. That I don't know if we would be here.
Seeing progress.
Yeah, no, well, I don't know if we would be here back when he was like 2 3 years old, and here we are. So the future looks very bright for him, and I feel that we're in a good path. Hopefully everything works out great. We're um, down the road. Who knows? He has his little home behind our home, and he's completely independent on his own. That's the goal, you know, like push him as far as we can, like for him to depend on his own, and only the future will tell.
All right, I think those are all the questions. You guys gave us some really good questions. How do you feel about them?
They were
Heavy hitters?
yeah, I had to really put my mind into it. Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you guys for asking these questions, for wanting to get Hugo's point of view. I know he's not in in a lot of videos, but he's here, always present, and always willing to make a video for you guys. I think it's cool to get his point of view because we think very similarly, but at the same time, there's certain things that we might see differently, or he might respond differently than I will. But it's always good to get different people's point of views. So thank you guys for being interested in his answers and for hanging out with us. So thank you guys, and we will see you in the next one.
Real quick before we let you guys go, I just want to remind you guys about our merchandise. We have our t-shirts, sweaters going on. It would really give us a lot of support if you guys help us out. And by doing this, we're able to bring out other merch. Make sure you check it out and see if you see anything you like. It would really go a long way to supporting our family. Thank you.